Hey guys, welcome back to the Santa's Bricks. My name is Jevin, and now if you guys have been watching this channel for a while, you guys may remember that last year around this time, we made two LEGO lightsabers. We built the blue Skywalker lightsaber, and we built the red Kylo Ren lightsaber. Well, today we are going to be building one of the most unique and one of the most iconic lightsabers. Today we're going to be making a LEGO Darksaber. Now, if you guys don't already know, the Darksaber is pretty much just a black lightsaber, except that it's the only black lightsaber. But also the blade is totally different than any other lightsaber. Instead of having a round circular blade like the regular lightsabers do, this one instead is shaped more like a sword. Now, we've seen this lightsaber a lot in Star Wars TV shows like The Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels, and now even The Mandalorian. And since The Mandalorian Season 2 wrapped up yesterday, it only seems fitting that we make a LEGO Darksaber. So here you can see we have the LEGO Darksaber, and you can see this thing is actually pretty big. We can see the sword blade here and the handle down at the bottom. So now I'll show you guys how you can build your very own LEGO Darksaber. So to start building our LEGO Darksaber, we're going to start at the bottom and then work our way up. So at the very bottom of our build, we're going to need this piece here. As you can see, it's a 2x2 plate, but it is smooth on the bottom. Now onto one end of this, we're going to add two of these 2x2 sloped bricks, just like so, and then we're going to fill this gap in with regular bricks so that we end up with this piece as a result. So next, we're going to take a 2x2 plate, a 1x2 tile, and a 1x2 plate and put it on the top of this section. Next, we're going to need these two pieces here. As you can see, it's a 3x3 plate and a 2x3 plate. And now, these have these anti-studs, these little holes or circles that are in the bottom, and these are going to go onto these studs, just like so that they connect like this. So now we're going to add a layer of black bricks to the top. Next, we're going to add 2 layers of dark gray plates. So next, we're going to add another layer of black bricks, except we also are going to add a snot brick. Now, snot stands for studs not on top, which means it has a stud on the side, as we can see here. So we're going to put this piece right here, and then we'll fill in the surrounding area with black bricks. So now we're going to alternate the pattern of 2 layers of gray plates, then 1 layer of black bricks, back and forth until we have a total of 5 black stripes. So next, onto this stud of our snot brick, we're going to add this 2x2 plate that has the 2 angles on either side, just like so. Next, we're going to add a layer of plates, but we're going to have dark gray on the bottom and both the sides, and we'll have black on the top. I'll show you what I mean. So here, like I said before, we have dark gray plates on the bottom, both the sides, but we have a black brick on the top. So now we're going to do the same thing again, but this time in the middle we'll have plates, and on either edge we're going to have tiles. So now we're going to continue building this middle column out, and we're going to want to put snot bricks on both sides to hold on some panels in a little bit. And just like this part here, we're going to want to make sure that we have black bricks at the top, but dark gray bricks on the bottom, like so. Now, I would also like to point out that in between every layer of snot bricks, I have 2 layers of plates. This makes it so that if I want to put a plate or tile onto the snot bricks, that it hooks up just right with the holes on the bottom of the plate or tile. So now let's make the side panels that are actually going to connect to these snot bricks. So for our base, we're going to need to build something that looks like this. So first, in this section here, we have a 16 by 5 plate, and it's 2 plates thick. And then on this part that juts out here, I have a 4 by 6 area, and it is 3 plates thick, or 1 brick thick. Now, I actually have had to create this out of multiple differently sized plates, because there just isn't a plate that is this perfect size. So next we're going to cover this section in tiles. But we're going to do that in a particular way. Let me show you what I mean. So here you can see we have that design that I'm talking about, where each layer is scooched this way, one stud, and up one stud, and they're alternating colors. So next, let's decorate this top section here. So first, on the very edge, we're going to add this 4x4 plate with the one corner cut out of it, just like that. Then we're going to take 3 more of those plates and stick it onto the bottom of that first plate, just like so. So next, we're going to add a 2x4 tile to the bottom, and then above that, we're going to add 4 of these 1x2 light gray raised tiles, just like so. So now we're going to need to make another one of these side panels, but it is flipped and is the opposite of the first one. So now if we bring the bottom of our hilt back, we can attach these panels onto each side using those snot bricks in the core of our build. Just like so. So now for this next section, we're going to need to do some interior work here. So just in order to show you guys that, I'm going to take off this side panel so that we can see the inside of our build. So first up, we're going to want to add another layer of these tiles where we have black at the top and dark gray at the bottom, just like so. So now we're going to build the mechanism that actually holds the blade of our lightsaber in the hilt. So first we're going to add one of these little 1x1 bricks with the technic hole in it, and that's going to go on this stud here, and then above that we're going to add a black brick, and it's alright if it has a hole in it because that will be covered up by the plate that we made earlier. So now on top of those pieces, we're going to add 2 black 1x2 bricks and a 1x2 plate, just like so. Then we're going to add another one of these white bricks and another one of these black bricks in the same positioning, just like so. Then we're going to add a black 1x2 tile and then 3 1x2 dark gray bricks. Then we're going to add 2 plates and then a snot brick that faces inward, just like so. And then finally, down on the very tip, we're going to add a cheese wedge piece. Just like so. So next we're going to take a technic shaft that has 15 holes in it, and we're going to put these pieces in it as you see here. There will be a blue technic shaft, which is 3 long on either end, then 2 from this end, there will be another blue shaft, then there will be a black one, which is only 2 long, then 3 holes from this one. You can see I have 3 open holes here. There will be a black technic connector. Now onto either end here, we're going to add 2 more of these black technic shafts, once again with 15 holes, and these are going to go onto these pieces here, just like so. Then we're going to take this piece here. Feel free to pause the video if you need to see where all of these pieces go, and this is going to go in between these 2 pieces as seen here. So now if we bring our main base back here, this piece is going to hook into those 2 white pieces inside the shaft here, just like that. So now for this next part, we actually are going to need to remove this segment here and work on it separately. So next we're going to add a brick with a technic hole in it onto this blue piece right here. Then on top of that, we're going to add a brick that is actually 2 Lego bricks high, and then we're going to add a 1x1 brick to the bottom of that. So next we're going to add a 1x2 brick, a 1x1 brick, and then right here we're going to add a 1x1 tile, just like so. Next we're going to add a snot brick with actually studs on all 4 sides on top of this piece here. Now, one of these studs is going to go into the hole of this technic beam here. Then on top of that, we're going to add 2 1x1 plates, and then on top of those, we actually are going to add another technic piece with studs on all 4 sides. And again, you may need to bend it out a little bit in order to get the piece on, and then reconnect it to the technic beam, just like so. Now we can take this section and add it back into our original hilt here, just like so. Then we can add this other plate on because now we're done working on the core of our hilt. So next we're going to need to build this piece here. So if I flip it over and look at the bottom, you can see here I have a bunch of these 3x bricks, which means that they all have 3 for their length. And then going down here, you can see I have it going down, except we have one stud at the end that doesn't have plates on the bottom. Then up at the top, down the middle here, I have a nice long tile, and then on either side I have these 1x2 cheese slope pieces. And then of course underneath this tile here, you can see I actually have a brick that also runs down the length of this. So now into this gap here, we're going to add these 2 pieces, which actually have a little slope on them, and then this piece here, which has a clip. So the clip piece will go in the middle, and then the slope pieces are going to go on either side. Just like so. So now if we bring our hilt back, these pieces are going to go onto these studs right here, just like so. So now we're going to build the main shaft of our blade, so we're going to extend this using these technic beams, just like so. So now that we have the core of our saber built, we're going to fill in all of these holes on this side with these pieces here. You can see they're technic pins and they have a stud on one side. So we're going to fill in all the holes on these beams with these pieces here, like so. Now that we have all of these studs on this side of the blade, we're going to add 2 layers of plates and then 2... So now that we have all these studs on this side of the blade, we're going to add 2 layers of black plates and then 1 layer of black bricks. Now you will notice that down on this end, I haven't made this all level. You can see it slowly goes down closer to the blade. So you can see that I have a curved piece here. Now this is actually a piece with a very long curve to it. Now onto that we're going to add a 1x8 plate and then a 1x6 plate underneath it. So now onto this section here, I'm going to add a 1x6 plate, then a 1x8 plate, and then a 1x6 plate on the end. Now this will fit perfectly into this spot, just like so. Now you notice that down on this end we also have a gap, and we're going to fill that by making this section here. So first we're going to start off with this piece here where it has the slope on one end, and then we're going to take a 1x2 plate and put it on top of that. Then under that we're going to add another 1x2 plate, a 1x1 plate on top of that, and then on top of all that we're going to add a 1x3 brick that has the slope, and then this will fit perfectly into this spot, just like so. So now that we have most of the black part of our blade built, now we're going to need to add the white outline. So on this side the pieces will connect directly to these studs here, but then on this side these pieces will actually connect into these technic beams, into the holes that I left open. So now that we have our layer of plates and then above that our layer of tiles put on either side of our black blade, we now have to go back and fill in the little gaps. As you can see right here we have this little gap because this section needs to be at a slight angle. You'll see that's why I left these gaps in the black blade, so that we can tilt the pieces so that it still gives it a nice clean look while still having the angles that it needs to. So in this section right here we're going to need to take this hinge piece and then a 1x1 plate and then put a 1x3 tile on top of all of those, and then this will connect into this white piece at the base of our saber. This piece then can fold up until it's at just the right angle. So now down at the tip of our blade we're going to need to fill in this area here. As you can see I already have a clip piece here, so we're going to take this 1x1 hinge piece and click it into that clip, just like so. Next, we're going to build off of that, extending our white edge. So now you can see I have this shaft, which is one 1x8 plate, and on top of that I have two 1x4 plates. Now onto this open stud at the end, I'm going to put another of these 1x1 hinge pieces, just like so. So next we're going to need to fill in this gap here with some black pieces. So now connecting onto these two white studs, I'm going to add two black plates. Then on top of that, I'm going to add a black 1x1 brick, and then a black snot brick that has one stud facing this direction. Then on top of those, I'm going to add a 1x2 plate, and then a 1x2 brick. Then I'm going to take a 1x2 sloped piece and put a 1x1 plate on the bottom, and then this will connect onto these two black studs right here. So now onto this stud here, I'm going to add two 1x4 plates. Then at the bottom of that, we're going to add a 1x2 plate, and then all along that, we're going to add two of these 1x2 grate pieces onto these studs right here. Now we're going to have to build the white outline over the tip here. So first we're going to take this clip piece and connect it to the bottom of this white outline that we already have running down our shaft. Then we're going to take a 1x4 plate, flip it over, and then add a 1x2 hinge piece and a 1x2 clip piece. This piece here will then fit perfectly into this area by connecting to the clip and the hinge piece. Just like so. So now all it's left to do is to add the hilt of our lightsaber, which will go right here. So first we're going to start off with a 1x10 plate, and then in the middle of that we're going to put a 1x2 plate. Then on the very end of that we're going to add a 1x1 plate, and then on top of that we're going to add a hinge plate, and then right next to that we're going to add another hinge plate, just like so. Next we're going to add a 1x4 plate, a 1x3 tile, and a 1x8 tile to cover the top. Then onto this hinge piece here, we're going to add a 1x2 tile, and then a 1x2 plate to the bottom. Then to this hinge we're going to add one of these sloped plates, and then we'll add a sloped tile and a 1x1 tile to the top of the hinge, just like so. So now we're going to make another one of these, but it's facing the opposite direction. So next we're going to take a 1x2 plate and two of these inverted bracket pieces. Then to the top we're going to add two of these 1x3 tiles. Next we're going to need a 1x3 plate, a 1x2 inverted bracket, and a 1x1 inverted bracket. Now on top of those, we're going to add a 1x2 plate, a 1x2 regular bracket on either end, and a 2x3 plate on the top, just like so. So now we're going to need to make another one of those. Now onto one of these, we're going to add a 1x3 plate on the inverted brackets, and then on the other, we're going to add a 1x2 cheese wedge piece and a 1x1 cheese wedge piece. Then if we take all of our pieces and bring them back, we can assemble the hilt. So first we're going to take these two pieces and connect them to one of the sides, like so. Then we're going to take this piece and connect it to this hinge right here. So now if we get the main portion of our Darksaber, we can attach this crossguard. So this piece is going to go on the top, just like so, and connect to these studs here. And if we flip it over, we can attach our other piece. This piece will then attach to these studs and connect to the other half of our guard, just like so. And so, there we have our Lego Darksaber. Alright guys, and so that is our Lego Darksaber. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you guys would like to see some more awesome Lego builds like this, be sure to click subscribe right down there.